Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back. Next, we are going to be talking with activist Mustafa Darsot. He has resigned from Action SA over the Palestinian stance that they have taken. You can look at it both ways, and the stance that he has taken, of course. He resigned last week from Action SA almost a month after he sought answers in the party about a change in stance. So let's hear what led up to the situation. Where is he at now? And how's he feeling right now? Assalamu alaikum to you, Mustafa Darsot. Welcome to the program. Nice having you on air. Under these circumstances, I would have liked to have spoken to you under different circumstances, but hey, it is what it is. Welcome.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Sister Julie, and to all the listeners out there. Yes, we should have spoken under different circumstances, but nevertheless, there's a need to talk, so no problem.
We salute you. I mean, that was very, very brave. Other people would have, thought long and hard about the situation. You are undoubtedly a family man. It does mean that you've now got to, look out and seek different opportunities, etc. It couldn't have been an easy decision. Let's understand what led up to you making this decision, because it was a shocker. It was a shocker to me as well when this news broke, and I thought, goodness me, what? And I mean, you know what? They had my vote. Action SA, I was banking on them, but now things have changed. Now, with you having stepped down and kind of almost showing us their true colors, I think the game, your stepping down has been a game changer.
Yes, well, Sister Julie, the problem was that Action SA has come about. Well, the party was born in the midst of lockdown in end of August 2020 and came about as a hope for South Africans as an alternative, given that so many people were disgruntled with the current political situation here in South Africa. And basically 3 years ago, I looked at it as a father of my kids, and knowing that there's the youth out there who are of a similar age group as my children, and we're talking now, kids in their late teens and early 20s who are totally lost, clueless as to where should they get involved in the political space and how they should understand the political space. And if you went and told somebody, listen, we're going with ANC or EFF or DA, they'll look at you like if you've gone crazy. And then I started pursuing Action SA. I made contact a few months later with Herman Mashaba. I flew up to Joburg to see him. And then from there, from early March 2020, 2021, the journey began. And of course had roadshows here for him in Durban, etc., for the party to tell people, listen, you're looking for a party, and you must know in November 2021 we had local government elections, so people obviously were looking for an alternative. And Alhamdulillah, everything went off very well. And of course, Herman then saw that, look, from my interests, etc., and recruited me onto the Senate, which is almost 2.5 years ago. And I've been serving since until last week, the 16th of November, when I announced my resignation. And what prompted this, as you say about the Palestine issue, is that not that I wanted the party to come out and say, guns blazing, we are pro-Palestine. I never expected that, and I never wanted to insist on that, because we know we're a multicultural party, we're multi-religious, multiracial, and that, however, what I expected was that the party to adopt a stance that is different out there. And the problem is that what we're seeing right now is a repeat of what, like, the DA is holding, the position the DA is holding, and that's not on. I mean, at the end of the day, you can't place the sensitivities of one faith-based group over the other. And that's where the problem came about.
Okay, we've also been hearing for some time now that Action SA has been labeled as DA light, if I can use that terminology. Can you please elaborate on that? Is there any truth to that rumor?
Well, look, the DA light stigma, which hasn't been escaping, wherever Action is going, basically, it's like it's hounding them, following them around. Well, that will come about because majority of the high-ranking members of Action SA are former DA members. But one has to understand the context. You've got those that were unhappy with the leadership of Helen Ziller running the party, very autocratic, and that's why they left Action SA. And they left the DA and to join Action SA. But the problem has been is that, and I know for a fact that a lot of us on the Senate, and being 24 members, we were trying very hard to shrug off the stigma, this label, this identity, enforced upon. However, the actions of the national chairperson, from my personal experience with this whole thing about the tweet of October 11th, from
Okay,
October 11th proves and it gives credence to the stigma, because at the end of the day, what he displayed to me was pure arrogance, which stems back from his DA days. So at the end of the day, although the party is trying to shrug off this label, it just takes one or two people to basically enforce it.
Okay, I think there's probably a call
Sorry,
coming
can you hear
in
me now?
on your
I said,
line.
as much as there's an effort, there's an effort to shrug off this label or the stigma, all it takes is one or two people in a very high-ranking position, in this case, the national chairperson, to basically give credence to it, to give legitimacy to it. And as I said, that was from my personal experience, because Sister Julie, what happened is that from October 11, when the tweet was issued, and October 12 was my last interaction with him until this past Monday, which was November 30. That was a whole month, given the total cold shoulder had been ignored by your fellow colleague, your fellow senator, your party leader. That obviously, that arrogance will give credence to the sort of stigma.
You are, of course, referring to Michael Beaumont, are you not?
Correct, the national chairperson.
What is Herman Mashaba saying about all of this? Have they reached out at all and asked you to reconsider your decision? And if they haven't, are you surprised that they've not done that?
Well, I was expecting, up till now, I've got no phone call from Herman Mashaba or Michael Beaumont. Not that I'm expecting anything from Michael Beaumont, but I would have expected a call from Herman Mashaba. Yes, the KZN chairpersons, Raquel Mwangu, reached out to me and a few other fellow senators, who I must say, majority of the fellow senators are good people, are sincere people, and they have asked me to reconsider. But I feel that, you know what, the trust has been broken, and if somebody makes a unilateral decision like your party chairperson then and sticks by it and makes you look insignificant, especially when you're trying to engage them and trying very hard to correct the situation or correct the status quo, then at the end of the day, there's no point in me being there.
Mustafa, can I ask you to please just stand by? We'd like to take an ad break. I'd like to continue this discussion with you. Is that possible?
Okay, no problem. No problem.
Jazakallah.
Yeah, it's not good.
Listen to something fresh. Listen to Salam Media, your humanitarian broadcaster. With so many investment options today, it's only natural that you might feel a little confused which route to take. Should I buy shares or should I invest in gold bullion? Randery Jewelers now brings you the Zahab coin, an alternative to the Kruger Rand. The Zahab coin, a solid wealth protector in its purest form of 24-karat gold, is the safest way to protect your wealth. So don't just sit there and watch your paper money depreciate. Change to gold. Call Randery Jewelers now at 031 202 4701 or visit www.rjcoin.co.za, situated at 151 Essenwood Road, Musgrave, Durban. Randery Jewelers, the family name you can trust.
Education, health, dignity, empowerment. These wishes all begin with water. Africa Muslims Agency is committed to providing clean water to the thousands who still live without this basic human right. Support us in giving the best of charities. Provide a water well for 14,800 Rand or a borehole for 49,500 Rand in Afghanistan or 55,000 Rand in Africa. Gain Thawabi Jariyah and help communities to reach their full potential. Africa Muslims Agency, empowering, educating, inspiring.
Discover the Africa of your dreams and surround yourself with her spectacular beauty. Relax beneath her serene sunsets and explore wildlife at its natural best. It's where the pride of Africa comes together. The Kwantu Private Game Reserve. Get to know the Big Five or cruise on an elephant safari game drive. Interact with lion and tiger cubs and enjoy world-class halal cuisine while we pamper you during your 5-star stay. Indulge in the true African experience. For reservations, call now on 042-203-1400 or visit kwantu.co.za. The Kwantu Private Game Reserve, the place of gathering.
For a long time, we've lived in a centralized world, where institutions held the all-important data and confirmed all transactions. Those times are over. Welcome to Libertas Group, a blockchain development company boasting an ecosystem that continually redefines the way we do business. Our blockchain is decentralized, making it immune to hacking or alteration, putting the power back in your hands with no middleman, so you can focus on the growth of your business. Libertas, the simplest investment choice you'll make.
Listen to something fresh. Listen to Salam Media, your humanitarian broadcaster.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Welcome back. We have another 5 minutes left with Mustafa Darsot, which we do appreciate. We are talking about him having resigned from ActionSA over their Palestine stance. Now, we also further understand that a rift with ActionSA's national chairperson, Michael Beaumont, on the party stance on the Palestine situation has driven Durban Muslim activist Mustafa Darsot to quit the party in protest. And I do think that that is very, very admirable and highly commendable. Jazakallah, it just shows that, you know, your heart is in the right place, and inshallah, whatever happens hereafter, that you grow from strength to strength. But we don't want to lose you as far as South African politics is concerned. We do hope and pray that you are still going to walk on the path of politics. What are you thinking right now? Are there viable parties that you do believe are credible enough for you to join?
Sister Julie, I must say I've been overwhelmed with offers from other parties to join them, to come on board. And the thing is, I've made it clear to all of them that right now I do not want to join any party. What I want to do, and I want to carry on with my civic duty of encouraging people to register to vote, which is the first important step, to get more politically savvy, politically acquainted, to understand the dynamics of the political landscape and the challenges we are facing here in South Africa. And then based on that, we got elections maybe 6 months away. By then they can make a better informed decision. I'm not going to tell people who to vote for. And by then, who knows if there's something that's if there's some good opportunity there to pursue with another political party, then so be it. And I must make it known to the listeners out there that my involvement with ActionSA as a senator was there to build the party, to give it that overwhelming recognition as an all-round South African party. I mean, back in November 2021 elections, I turned down the offer to be on the PR councillors list for elections. Right now, people were asking me, why don't you submit your name for the 2024 elections to be an MP for National Parliament and MP for the Provincial Parliament? I turned that down. I said, look, I'm a businessman, but my passion is activism. I've been a long activist now for over 15 years. As you know, I've been with Samnet for 13 years, and I still continue supporting outside. So I will continue with all my activism. Of course, it now frees me up time with the Palestine solidarity. So I'll pursue all these things and to the best of my ability. However, as I said, my involvement was purely to make a difference and to give South Africans that hope that, listen, as you said yourself, Sister Judy, that you were wanting to vote for the for ActionSA come 2024 elections, and like that. I mean, my WhatsApp, the support that I got for people. I mean, a whole lot of people told me that we were really counting on this party as a party to vote for. But given this or what has happened, we obviously the people are put off, people are upset.
My sentiments exactly. I just want to read. I want to read something to you, and I'd like your comment on it. I think that this was very, very careless on the part of Beaumont. When pro-Palestine activists picketed outside the ActionSA offices in Durban, Beaumont went on to tweet, and I quote, "I'm pleased to say we were too busy to notice because ActionSA was busy announcing Zwakele Mqwango as a KZN Premier candidate capable of addressing the serious challenges facing our fellow South Africans in KZN." I was shocked. Your thoughts?
Well, the moment that tweet was brought to my attention, it was sent to me as a screenshot. Then I went on Twitter and I found that it was issued by him, and I immediately took it up with him. But let me just go back in a few backtrack there with a bit of context. November 13 last Monday was the first time my interaction with Michael Bowman since October 12th, when we couldn't agree on rectifying the status quo with that tweet. Right? He was here in Durban with Herman Mashaba and a few others for the press conference on the announcement of Zwakele Mqwango as the KZN Premier candidate. What happened was that because they sent out a press release the day before, obviously somehow the other activists got hold of it, and there was plans to picket. And we did the courtesy, the right thing of informing the party leadership that, look, at the venue where the press announcement is going to take place, there will be a protest outside. Right? And what happened was that I spoke to the organizers and I said, please, you guys are coming to protest. It must be peaceful. There's no, everybody has the right to protest. And of course, and we tried to give them assurance that, look, it will be peaceful from what we know. But nevertheless, there was a decision to change the venue, and the venue was changed, and protesters pitched up at the first venue. And then the media turned up there, and the media realized, wait, there's a change of venue. So they told the protesters it's at another venue, and the protesters followed them. And to my knowledge, it was peaceful. There were no incidents. And the thing is that then I see a few hours later that afternoon that the tweet comes out. And I immediately sent it to him. I said, hello, your tweet is very offensive. The words used or the wording of your tweet is very offensive to the community, to the Muslim community. I mean, what nonsense is this? So he says, oh, please point out to me how, in what way. So I said, we were too busy to notice those words. I said, surely a better choice of words could be used. Then he responds to me with a whole long story of, who are you? In what capacity do you speak on behalf of the Muslim community, etc.? I just ignored him. And a few hours later, I think maybe some realization dawned upon him. He went on Twitter announcing a retraction and apologizing for that tweet. So at the end of the day, it just shows that insensitivities, and causing a bit of damage. But at the end of the day, you rectified that, but go back and rectify the damage that you had done. And not only to me, you basically, the party, because of that action, it has basically alienated or isolated an entire voting community.
I couldn't agree with you more. Thank you indeed. We salute you for the strong stance you have taken. And it just shows that your heart is in the right place and that you are bleeding for our Palestinian brothers and sisters. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept all of your efforts. And undoubtedly, there's going to be many more amazing opportunities going forward for you and like-minded people like yourself. Mustafa Darsot, shukran very much for being with us on the show this morning. Keep us all in your dua. Assalamu alaikum to you.
Wa alaikum salam, Sister Julie. Shukran for everything.
Okay, it's 3 after 9 o'clock, news and views moving along, and we're now going to be crossing over to our news correspondent for the bulletin of the morning. But before we do that, I do believe there's a short break, and then we'll be talking with Zai Jadwit.